Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Roshidere episode number 10 reactions. So the previous episode, the first part of the previous episode we had what's his name, Masachika, go and talk to Nonoa about the whole situation with the debate and the fact that he wants to make sure that Taniyama, her reputation, which is like people are talking bad about her now, like he wants to make sure that that doesn't happen and they can do something about it. At which Nonoa was like, "It's fine, I'll take care of it." And by the end of it, she kind of like tells everyone in a way, like in an indirect way, that it was actually me. I planted people there. That's why Taniyama acted like that. So it's technically not her fault. So I'm assuming things will go okay now, become okay now, little by little. People will stop spreading rumors and stuff. And yeah, so that's that. And then we had the this other section where we had the whole hypnosis thing, where like it was kind of like a funny little section, I guess, in the end, where both Alia and Masha got hypnotized, and stuff like that. And yeah, that's what happened. So let's see what happens in today's episode. Let us begin. I'll be putting subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, that's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, which side at the same time? Brain hazard. It's like a zombie anime or something. Yeah. He wants to watch Brain Hazard. Yo. Damn. Yeah, I guess now that like, oh, Alya. Oh, damn. Coincidence. Yeah. Hmm. Birthday party much belated. Oh, it's. Oh, okay. Yeah. Bruh. Oh, yeah. You caught him exactly at that time. Oh, all right. Okay, that is crazy. Literally said the same thing. Bet. Hmm. Top 30. Damn. Oh, within reason. Then you'll have to do. Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy. Given name. So, call. No, wait, what? They already call each other by their. Oh no, wait, she calls him Guzegun. Okay, okay. So, Masachika, I'm guessing. November 7th. Wow, that memory. Oh, so yeah, he is older. What? Oh wait, what date is today? Oh my god, she's watching. Okay. Okay, yeah, so wait, what is today's date? Did they show it? Maybe if they showed it, I missed it maybe. 5 days later. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Closing ceremony. Right. Oh yeah, because they'll be like um they'll be going to a new right. Yeah, what's happening? You might, yeah. Oh boy, the playing with the hair. The birthday, I think. Yeah. Yeah. You think he had a party? Yeah, obviously. Wow, for her it's so like normal that oh, but obviously like different people, like his familial situation. But wait a minute, I was think like Yuki would come and like maybe spend time with him. Ah, that's why. Right. 5 days later though. Oh no, 3 months. Okay, I thought like on the day he was studying, that was the day of his birthday. But no, it passed. Okay, yeah, I see. 3 months. So they're like in July or something now. Oh damn, he's all dressed up. Well, Masachika's just like a normal shirt. Everyone's looking at her. Hmm. Everyone. Whoa. Hello, you guys have nothing else to do? This is one thing that always I found funny about anime, how everyone looks at this never happens in real life. Wow. Ah, well, you know what? Good way. Violence. You think she's gonna box them? Yeah. Oh boy. Well, wow. Damn. I'm pretty sure, like she never she has social anxiety. Like you expect her to, like we've seen, like like her situation. Wow. Oh, right. Venison. Hmm. Motivation and policies. Okay. I see. Hmm. Ooh. Oh, I see. Oh wow, that's an interesting way. Yeah, that'll be heartbreaking. Like they'll probably drop immediately. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Muted response. Right. Hmm. Damn. Yeah. She wants to fight fair and square. Yeah. Then that's fine. We can retaliate. No, no, Nonoa. That's her last name, I think. Yo. Yeah. 3 months later. Extremely belated birthday. What is that? Right. So yeah. So she said this. So how did people react? I think like people just right. Mm. Oh yeah, that's true. She didn't say that in Russian. Yeah. Okay. Okay, people, mind your own business, please. She probably did. She probably did forget. She actually did forget. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh yeah, I was wondering if she was going to give a gift. Oh, what is that? Okay. Fancy mug. Wow. Yeah. Right. You're right. Today she's awfully confident. Yeah. Exactly. Bruh. Okay. Oh, the closing ceremony. Uh, okay. Hmm. How did? What? Hmm. We new uniforms. Why suddenly? Hmm. I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Hmm. Yeah. Right. Oh. Right. Right. Like I sometimes forget that even though they're student council presidents, like his parents will have to come and for the parent teacher meeting. Like yeah, I'll talk about it later. The hypnosis. Yeah. Right. That is true. Did I say anything? You know, weird. Mm. Well, petting their head. Yeah. What did she think she did? Yo. Oh, because of her whole. Right. Yeah. Yeah, he didn't do anything. He was just standing there. Oh, I do wonder for Masachika, like, yeah, who will it be? I guess probably Yuki's mom will come, will she? I don't know. Yeah, where were you? She was just there? Oh, grandpa's coming. Oh no, that's not good. Sibling time. Yeah. Uh, yeah, what? Right. Okay, this is the school. So, you need to be careful if you want to keep your. It'll be hilarious if the grandfather suddenly enters the room. I doubt that's gonna happen. Yeah. What? Oh god, here we go. This won't be. This won't be. Yeah. Who the hell? Wait. Oh, the maybe. Oh, the other grandfather. I was wondering. Yeah. Okay, I see. Makes sense because the other grandpa will never come for his. Yeah. Hmm. Oh, Alia's there. Oh, this is Alia's mom. We haven't really. Yeah. Makes sense. It takes out his sunglasses. I want to see the mother. Come on, show her face. Okay. She. Akemi. Yeah. Right. Oh no, where? Wow. What? Yeah? Oh boy. Damn. I wonder who came with Yuki. That's. Oh no, here we go. Here we go. Oh, the mom came. Okay. Right. Oh boy. Yumi, that's her name. Yeah, so there you go. The other grandfather. I'm trying to think if I've heard this song before. It's not coming to me. Maybe I heard it, I just forgot. Yeah, I even if I've heard this song, I've probably forgotten. I don't recognize this. Okay, and there you go. That was today's episode. Okay, today's episode was very interesting because we had quite a few things which I need to talk about. Um, the first section was basically, like the whole birthday situation where Alia goes with Masachika, and they kind of have a little bit of a meal. And yeah, the second part is the part which becomes interesting with the whole like meeting the parents and everything. Now, I thought when he was talking about grandfather, I was like, wait, so interesting. Like, I was kind of like a little bit, I would say a little bit, what can I say? Like, like like not confused, but I was like, okay, he's talking about grandfather, and in my head, the grandfather is like that grandfather, that one, the one with the mustache and everything. And so I was like, interestingly enough, he's not really like like seeing he doesn't seem bothered that fact that the grandfather is coming. I was like, like obviously his relationship with his grandfather was like that. So I was like, yeah, he would probably be very annoyed at the situation. But I was like, okay, he's taking it very well. And then when he goes and I see this like bald guy, I'm like, who the hell is this? And then I remembered, oh wait, that's true. you know two grandfathers actually, there's actually two grandfathers. I completely forgot the fact that two grandfathers actually exist. So it makes sense. This is from his father's, his father's father. So paternal grandfather. And their relationship is better. uh, and I'm assuming, as I mentioned, she also has a grandma. So grandfather and grandmother, both of them are there, and their relationship is way better than that family. Good lord, you know, the mother's family is crazy. Like, good god. Right. So I was like, okay, that answers a lot of questions, because there's also another thing I was thinking. I was like, I've seen the grandfather. He doesn't seem like the type of dude who's going to come to a parent teacher conference and it's kind of meeting or something like that. He'd probably be like, "Oh, I'm busy," you know, like someone else or something like that. He seems like that type of a person. And and also here's the thing, I would also not want someone like that person to come to a parent teacher meeting. Who knows what the hell he's going to say in front of the teachers? Like, can you imagine? Like, I myself wouldn't want someone like that to come and talk to my teachers and make the situation even worse. Like, he seems like a very uppity type of a character. Like, he's going to say something extremely rude, like if he like it'll be a disaster. you know so if I am in Yuki's place, I would also not want him to come to the parent teacher meeting. Like, stay 100 miles away from that. So yeah, so I like, and then I understood. I was like, okay, that makes a lot more sense. It's not that grandfather, but this grandfather. There you go. Right. And it was so interesting to see how, like I like it was pretty obvious by looking at Alia and Masha, how their families are, how their parents are, because both Alia and Masha seems like, like like people, children who have, been brought up in a loving household. You can understand that by looking at them and seeing how they, like how they interact and everything and how they are. So you can guess it. So seeing, Alia's mother, I was like, yeah, just like I expected. And their father will probably be just like how I expect. A nice guy. And whenever, this is the thing, whenever there's like characters who have like nice parents, like in animes, usually it's most of the time it is like that. A few of the parents are just complete asses to their children, as you can see. But most of the time, whenever I see like a nice, like a parent, like father, mother, I always think of one particular anime and one particular family, which is Clanat. If you have seen, you'll know. Nagisa's family is just so wholesome, both the father and the mother. Well, then we have Tomoya's family, who is like, yeah, like he had a very rough relationship with his father. and like stuff like that. So I'm kind of like, like I can see like, it's like there's like a similarity to that here. Both obviously, like Alia's parents are, I'm assuming the father is also a very nice guy, uh, from the, from understanding and from watching them. And here Masachika's family is like, like this. So yeah, and I think it's the problem is like the grandfather. This is the biggest problem here. Like you can see, like, I'm pretty sure everything would have been fine, or it wouldn't go in this direction if the grandfather was not like that. Because I'm 100% sure it is because of the grandfather that the mother is so reserved, doesn't really, like talk back or try to protest, when something like this happens. Because I'm pretty sure, like when like when she and her husband, they got divorced, and like, like Masajika had to leave the house. I'm 100% sure she didn't want that, but she couldn't say anything because that type of a person is her father. Like, and she doesn't seem like the type of person who has that courage to go against him. And that's why this happened. So I'm like, I'm not 100%, but I'm like 70-80% sure that the biggest problem in that family is the grandfather. Take the grandfather out, everything would have been fine, I think. you know but yeah, this is the problem. So there you go, and that's why I'm assuming the father also left, and the mother cannot protest. So the people, the ones who get the most, like the most affected by this whole situation is the children. you know like at that young age they had to be separated, and like this is going on. Like, how can someone be this, like, I just cannot believe this, how the grandfather is, like, like I said, I just imagine how can someone be like this. Like, good lord, like, calm down, man. Like, yeah. But again, it's nothing has been confirmed. I'm just assuming stuff at this point. I'm just assuming that the grandfather is the biggest problem, and I think I'm correct about this, like 80% sure. But there's a 20% chance that maybe something else is going on and some other stuff is also at play. So who knows? I cannot really say at this point. But like I said, I'm 80% sure the biggest problem is the grandfather, and everything happened because of him. But you know what? Let's wait and see. Again, it hasn't been confirmed. So, I cannot really say it with 100% certainty that, oh, the grandfather is the biggest villain here. But from the looks of it, it seems like it. So there you go. Either way, right, that was that. The father's family seems okay, quite nice. The grandfather, and I'm assuming the grandmother's also nice. And they have like accepted him, obviously, like, yeah, they're literally family. And the father is out at because of, like, I think he said like he's in England or some place like that for work purposes. So I'm not really sure what to feel about the father, though. I need to like actually see him and properly like understand, because like if you think about it, like it seems that he probably must have also been completely like rejected by the grandfather so hard that he actually had to leave them, leave his wife, something like that. Again, these are all assumption. I'm not 100% sure if that's what happened, but the divorce basically, I'm pretty sure it happened because of the grandfather. So that's why I'm saying I need to wait. I actually need to see him and properly, like understand what type of a person he is, because from Masachika's mouth it seems like he's okay with his dad. He has no problem with his dad. you know there is a few, like, hiccups here and there maybe, but it's fine. Like that happens in every family. uh but you can see the situation with the mother. He doesn't really, like, he's just like, whenever he saw her mother, and he was like, yeah. And for the most part, I feel like he's not really, what can I say, he doesn't really hate his mother, but he's probably frustrated about the fact that his mother like doesn't protest about these type of situations and just takes everything and just listens to the grandfather like this, and like that kind of thing maybe. And I'm assuming, like, Yuki, that's probably why Yuki stayed, because Yuki knew that they needed to be someone there in the family who could at least be the mother's ally, because if Yuki went along with Masachika and you know went with the father, then the mother would have been all alone in that place. There would have been no one to kind of you know yeah, be with her, and that would be a different type of a problem. She'd probably get way more stressed out, and like, because Yuki's there in the same place, she probably is a lot more, like, less mentally stressed than it would have been if she was all alone in that place. um you know yeah, like, all these things, like, it's a complicated familial situation, and I'm pretty sure most of the complications comes with the grandfather. Again, I'm not 100% sure because it hasn't been confirmed, but I'm assuming by the looks, by observing what's going on. Yeah, right. And yeah, that was that part that I want to talk about that part in a brief manner, the final section. Other than that section, today's episode, like I said, it was fairly chill. Like, they went out together. Alia was a lot more confident this day. With the birthday party date, or and yeah, they went to a nice place, they ate. And I love how Masachika was like, oh, like, this place, I'm sure she'll be very thrilled, like, to eat in this place. And then she's like, oh, I came here before. He's like, bruh. But you know what? It doesn't matter whether she went there before. What matters is the person that she went with, that kind of thing. Right. Like, obviously, going with the family is also a nice thing, but this is something special because she likes Masachika, that's why. Also, another thing I was kind of saying, I was like I had the wrong impression. I thought that the day when Masachika was studying for the exams, I thought that day was his like, birthday or something. But no, turns out it was like 3 months earlier. So the day when he was studying for the exams was probably in July or sometime. So his birthday is in April. So May, June, July. Yeah, it was in July when he was studying. So that's probably why Alia was like, "Oh, you didn't tell me." So it's like 3 months late. Like, I got to know about it, and I wouldn't have gotten to know about this if this conversation didn't happen. That kind of thing. So that's why I said that. Oh, why is Yuki not here? Because I thought that day was the birthday. So I was like, I'm 100% sure that Yuki would have been here. But no, turns out it was 3 months earlier. I'm sure 3 months earlier, on that particular day, Yuki was probably there. Like, they probably, like, celebrated, like, a little bit. Or it could be another thing that happened, which I don't really want to think about, but maybe the grandfather knew that, obviously, like, it's his grandson's birthday. So maybe on that particular day, grandfather was like, Yuki, do not leave your house, because he knows she would probably go and visit her brother. That, like I said, that is the worst case scenario that could have happened. And that would be so bad. Like, just imagine, like, if that actually happened, like, this guy's a horrible person. Again, I'm just assuming. Like, there's a possibility that he did something that vile. I could imagine, because you could see how much he hates Masachika, and the fact that he left their house or something. And he's a prodigy, but still he didn't make use of his, like, talents and whatever. So I could imagine him saying something like this just to be a complete ass. Like, obviously he definitely knows the birthday, so he probably was like, Yuki, do not leave the house on this day. You know, I can imagine that happening. But I would like to think that she went to, like, to Masachika's place. Because otherwise it's sad, because, like, it's literally nobody there. Like, he's just all alone in his house, room, just, with, like, nobody to wish him happy birthday, or just stay with him and just, spend time with him. Right. Okay, anyways, so yeah, that was that. And like, then they went to the place to eat, all that stuff. And you could see from this that, when Alia said, like, oh, like, since you didn't tell me your birthday, that means like, we're not that much good friends. And like, every birthday we should go and have a party. And immediately when she was like, got to know that she had a birthday, she was like, oh, you had a party and you didn't tell me. So for her it is so natural, like, like that. Oh, well, like, a birthday equal to party. But like, that's the sad part, because not every family is loving, you know different families have different situations and different stuff going on. And she's she's very lucky to have a family which who makes sure to celebrate a birthday every single year, and that's why in her head she's like, oh, birthday equal to party, you know yeah. Okay. And oh, we also got to know a little bit about the whole closing ceremony, what's going to happen. Apparently, people clap, and that's how they get to know that which group is in the winning side. So it'll be disastrous if nobody claps. Imagine like like someone goes and gives the speech and nobody claps, bro. You lose all confidence and immediately drop out. That is crazy. Oh boy. And that is also like so shameful. Just imagine, how are you going to come to school from the next day? Everyone's going to look at you and be like, oh, this kid, you see, he gave a whole damn speech for 5 minutes. Nobody literally cared. Oh boy, that is just, yeah, that is crazy if that happens to someone. Yeah. Was there anything else I wanted to discuss about? Let me see. Right. I don't know. I don't think there was. No, I think that is it. That was today's episode. Right. Yeah, there you go. That was today's episode. Right. So that was today's episode. Now, let me talk about this episode scene by scene. In the very first scene, we get to see Masachika study. And he's like, oh, an anime is going to start airing. Should I stop? Should I watch anime? Stuff like that. And the next day is like the test or whatever. So he's kind of deliberating about what to do. Here he kind of comments on how he's disappointed at the fact that he has just lost all motivation and he doesn't give his all out like he used to back then. You know, and it's very interesting because you can clearly understand like the whole situation with Masachika is that he's, as he says, he's just lost motivation. He just doesn't know what to do, and and he doesn't have any goal at this point. He probably back in the day, he probably gave his all because he wanted to you know be someone like significant with that family and that type of a grandfather. He probably wanted to do his best, but then after leaving the house and seeing how the whole situation is, he just probably just lost all motivation. And that's that. And that is why I guess you could say like Alia being here is very important, is because she literally gave him, like, I guess you could say, a goal. And that is also why he mentioned before that back with Yuki he did it because of guilt, but with this situation he's doing it because he wants to do it. And in that sense you could say like Alia literally came and gave him a goal, which is going to make, I'm assuming, which is probably going to make him change, and get his motivation back little by little as we keep watching the anime. Okay. And yeah, so he's then thinking about that, and then Alia calls suddenly as soon as he's thinking about like Alia. And Alia's like, oh, what are you doing, like stuff like that. And they kind of like joke around and everything. Oh, Alia here says something in Russian again, that whole section. Where was that part? Something the matter, Masachika says. Where's that part? Where? Oh yeah, he says like, did you miss me that badly? And she says in Russian, is that a problem? You know? Right. Anyways, so yeah, so she's like, I was wondering what you were doing, this and that conversation they're having, and this is where Masachika's like, oh, like I'm, I'm not getting motivated enough. And Alice says like, oh, I have a great way to counteract this. Just set think of a goal and think of like, oh, if I am able to do this, I'll do this. And this is the thing, I've seen other people say this as well. Like they, like, people who cannot get the motivation about to cannot do something. I've heard other people say this as well, where they say that, as Alia says, the set of a goal, think of a goal that, oh, this exam I'm going to get like, I don't know, like 80% or something, or something like that. obviously over with people who are very like good at studies, people who like like are not that good at studies, maybe they're like, oh, 60% or something. um but if I'm able to do it, then like if you have someone else with you, for example, here Alia was here, so Alia was like, oh, if you're able to do it, then like let's what did she say? Oh, I'm going to do a thing that you say. And then if you fail in doing it, fail in like getting, as they say, top 30 in doing that, then you'll do what I say, that kind of thing. So since he had Alia here with them, they could like make a goal like that. But what about people who are alone making something like a goal like this? What do? I've heard people say that they actually think of a goal and they say something like, oh, if I'm able to reach this goal, then I'll do something good for myself. Like maybe buy this thing that I've always thought about buying, and but never bought it. Or maybe treat myself, alone. Why not? You can just have a nice meal alone, like on your by your lonesome. It sounds a bit sad, but why not? Like if you literally have nobody to, like, yeah. So that's that. I've heard other people say this, and like do it like this, which gives them a motivation that, oh, okay, I need to like reach this whole thing. Yeah. Okay, so that's that. um then we have Masachika's like, and then the whole thing. Oh, this is the part where Alia was like, when Alia was like, you'll do one thing that I say, and Masachika's like kind of like, oh, that seems nice on its own. But here Alia says in Russian, give a name. Now I was kind of confused for a moment. I was like, wait, Masachika already calls her by Alia, which is like like a nickname. But then I realized that, oh no, she's talking about her calling him with his name, like his first name. So basically, not Kuzekun, but Masachika. I'm assuming Masachika is his first name. Yeah, Masachika Kuze, isn't it? Kuze Masachika, yeah. And Yuki's Kuze Yuki? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, there you go. Yeah, Masachika is the first name. So, he wants to call him by his first name. So that's probably what he's going to ask for later. You know what's funny? I think I know what Masachika is going to do. Like, there's a possibility that Masachika won't be able to be top 30, which is like very less. I think I'm sure he'll be top 30, and if he's top 30, he'll win this bet. If he wins this bet, I exactly know what he's going to do. He's probably going to tell her that, oh, from here onwards, you call me by my given name. I think he's going to do that. Let's wait and watch. I can see him doing that exactly. Because he heard she said given name, so he exactly knows what she's going to ask of him if he loses. But I doubt he'll lose, so he'll probably tell this to her and be like, "Oh, you call me by my given name. That's what I want." Right? I can see that happening. Let's wait and see. Either way, that was that. And like you can see, Alia kind of like reveals here that she actually got spooked watching like a horror movie, and that's why she called him. Right. Yeah, there you go. Okay, now that's that. And oh, so this is okay. Wait a minute. This is where they get to know their birthday. Yeah, yeah. When she was like, wait, how did the whole birthday conversation even start? Wait a minute. Oh, they were talking about like being older and like younger. Yeah, and he was like, oh, like leave everything to Oni-chan, and she's like, oh, why are you my Oni-chan? And he's like, oh, because you said your birthday is on this date. And wait, when was the birthday of Alia? Wait a minute, let me check. How do you know it? Wait a minute. November 7th. So they're in July. So it's still a while later. Okay. So yeah, November. So Ali's like, it's November. And he's like, it's November. And he's like, I remember. At which Ali's like, what's your birthday? And he's like, oh, it's April. And this is where Alia suddenly stopped talking because she thought that, oh, he never called me to his birthday party. He thought like he had one or something. And that's why she was like, oh, maybe we were not friends or something. Like he told me that we are friends. And yeah, that's why from next day, like from that point onwards, she became a lot more reserved in conversation with Masajika because she was feeling awkward about the whole situation and feeling sad. So Mastika sees that on the day of the exam, the day the exam ends, Mastika's like, "Oh, should we just go back home together, part way?" And Mastika asks her that what's going on, like something wrong. This is where she's like, "Oh, because you never told me that it's your birthday. You had a birthday party. You never told me." And Mastika's like, "What? What birthday party?" And she's like, "We never had any birthday parties." And she's like, "What? That is impossible." Mastika's like, "Wait, is it commonplace for people to have birthday parties in Russia? Wait, is this true? Like, so in Russia, like every birthday, everyone has to have a birthday party? Like, obviously it's optional, isn't it? Like, you can just, so maybe it's like really like you have to have a birthday party. Is that like that's what Mastika asks her, and she says like, yeah, oh, okay. So I guess that's also why she was like, oh, you had a birthday party but you never, like obviously she definitely, like, her father and mother are probably, like, as we can see, definitely caring enough to, like, spend time with them during their birthday and have like a party. But as she says, like, if in Russia it's commonplace to have a birthday party, so it's like very common. Like, I guess, obviously, like, people might not have it if they don't want to, but it's like commonplace, like something that everybody does, you know and I'm not sure about Japan though, but like, I'm assuming, like, for Japan it's the same as here, which we have here in India as well, where it's not really commonplace, like, oh, you have to have a birthday party. It's not commonplace, but yeah, like, most people do it, like, kind of like that. If you don't have a birthday party, it's not like surprising or anything. It's just like, oh, okay, that kind of thing. But I'm assuming in Russia, it's as she says, if someone doesn't have a birthday party, that's surprising. They're like, oh, like, what, you didn't have a party? Is that what it is? I'm assuming from this conversation that's what it is. So there you go. Is it not in Japan? Yeah, and Mahastika said, don't know about everyone else, but I haven't had one since elementary. God damn, that is actually crazy. Like, but yeah, it's not this crazy, obviously, but I'm assuming in Japan it's the same. Like, yeah, you can have a birthday party, but it's not like really commonplace to have every single birthday party every single year. You know, people might not have one, and it's completely fine, and something like that. Um, but for Masatika, this is crazy. Like, oh, since elementary, like, that is, yeah, that is messed up, obviously. Um, right, and I'm just assuming that he said elementary, so oh god, that is just pressing to think about. And I'm guessing, like, the father probably didn't have enough time to spend because he's out at work or something. I don't know. Right, so Mahji kind of turns this back to her, and she's like, oh, he's like, oh, you wanted to spend the birthday with me that badly? Anyways, then he's like, okay, you know what? Fine. Like, I'll be throwing a belated birthday party. So you know, like, we can go out and have a meal and stuff. So there you go. That's that. They decide on that, and the day of the birthday party, the two of them, Alia and Masachika, are out. And Alia has, like, dressed up and everything, wearing a nice dress, and Masachika's just wearing like a jacket, like a shirt kind of thing, and yeah. Like, is this real? Like, I've seen this happen in every single anime. Do people, like, stare at others like this? Like, like, when someone is, like, obviously, like, good looking and everything. Isn't that, like, I doubt this happens in real life, you know, because that is crazy. And this is one thing I've seen in every single anime without any doubt. Whenever someone goes out, like, who's, like, obviously it's a girl, be it a girl or a boy who's, like, extremely fashionable or very well dressed, everyone's just looking at them in the street. And I'm like, bro, what? Like, really? Like, yeah, I can understand, obviously it's a very attractive person, it's a very, like, good looking person, or he's wearing some crazy stuff maybe, but I would feel awkward even thinking about staring at someone in the middle of the street. Like, how can people do that? Like, it doesn't matter how well they're dressed or how good looking they are, you know like, but just staring at people like this, just standing in the middle of the street looking at them like this, that is crazy. That is crazy. Like, I couldn't even imagine that happening. And and the crazy thing, like I said, the crazy thing is that this happens in every single anime. I dare, I'm 100% sure, and I can say this with 100% guarantee, that every single anime where an episode comes where a character is like well dressed up, or like, is a very beautiful character, goes out on the street, every single anime has this scene where they stare. This is not even a trope at this point. This is like a feature of every anime at this point, that every single person will look at them. I haven't seen a single anime where this hasn't happened. I can 100% guarantee you this. But this is something that I've always found weird. I'm like, do people really do this? I doubt that. You know. But why do anime do this? Like, obviously, I guess to probably show that, oh, like one person is like this and one person is like, in this whole like contrast, to bring the whole contrast between the two people, that kind of thing, I guess. Yeah. Anyways, so they're like outside, and Alia's there. Like, she's just used to this, and she's like, oh, no problem and everything. And Mastika also says that, oh, like, what does people try to like, hit on you or something? And she's like, yeah, that has happened. And he's like, oh, like, so what did you do? And she's like, oh, nothing. I just speak in Russian, and people just go away eventually. That's a good way. And Mastika was like, thank God he doesn't like start fighting them or something. Oh boy, yeah. Anyways, so they come to this place. Okay, TGI Beefsteak Shack Junior. Best of meat to meat. That is a crazy, like a very, I guess you could say, creative, yeah, unique. Slogan: best of meat to meat. Wine and beef. Okay, so he says like dinner gets here pretty pricey, but at lunchtime you can try a bunch of different meats for a reasonable price, which makes sense, I guess. I've gone to restaurants where this happens, where at night it's like all packed up and everything, and it's like, it's very, yeah. But in the morning it's like all chill and everything, and you're like, oh, like, you can come here and have you know a very peaceful time. But at night it's all packed and everything. People just like, yeah. And oh, also another thing, I've also went to a restaurant where they give different discounts based on the time. I remember there was a restaurant where it was like at morning it's like 50% discount, and at night it was like 25%, because at night time it's like packed and people come, you know. So it makes sense why here, as he says, it's reasonable in the mornings, and at night it gets busier. Alia's like, oh, this place is great. I came here before. I've come here with my family before, and Masachika's like, bruh, I wanted to surprise her, but Anyways, so the venison meat here is very nice, obviously. Anyways, they go in, and they obviously, before eating, they talk about the whole student council, like the closing ceremony. And so he says that, what happens is the person, the candidate, he or she goes, gives their speech, comes back. The person who they're running with, like the partner, which is Masachika in this situation, will go and they'll say why they're supporting their partner, and and then everyone will clap on, like stuff like that. And basically, kind of like that. It's like an election speech, basically, kind of. However, there's no polling here, no official polling, but people clap only for those that they support, which is even crazier, because for polling, it's at least a secret who is like, giving like vote for who, and it's kind of like confidential. Like, oh, this person got 20% votes, it's fine, nobody knows who voted for who and all that stuff. Obviously it's going to be embarrassing if someone like has like 0% votes, obviously, but still, I'm thinking it's way less embarrassing than something like this, where you're literally seeing the result in front of your eyes. If people do not clap, that is devastating. You're going to lose your social life in school. People's going to look weirdly to you from the next day onwards, and they'll be like, bruh, who, look at this fool. He went to he went to do this whole student council thing, and nobody clapped. And it's going to be devastating. They're immediately going to drop out probably the next day, if that happens, from the election. Right. So there you go. And Ali's like, so has it happened before that people didn't clap? And he's like, yeah, it has happened. So yeah, that's stress. Okay. Anyways, then the food come in, and you know. Oh, here's the thing. The conversation gets interrupted here when like when they were talking about this. Mastika was like, we could do some kind of psychological warfare, but I doubt you want that. However, if they try to do it to us, we can retaliate back. And then he's like, I doubt Yuki's going to do that. It's not as if she is like Miyamaya, but I'm guessing that's her first name, no Noah, you know, or maybe no, that's maybe her last name. Okay, Miyamaya. And Alya's like, wait, what? What did you say? And then the food comes in, so the conversation gets interrupted. So they're like, okay, let's have some food, like they do a little kampai, they eat, you know. And then Alya's again like, oh, what were you talking about, Miyamai? And so there Alya kind of tells Masajika that, oh, is this like, like, did you do this? Did you tell her to do? And he's like, oh, I didn't really tell her directly, but she actually did this, and it kind of worked. The whole thing where she told everyone that, oh, it's me. But and like I said, they didn't really reveal what happened to Nonoa's reputation after that. But I doubt anything happened. She's extremely popular. Even if some people might not be happy with her because of that, like most of the people probably wouldn't care. They would probably be like, oh yeah, whatever. Yeah, there you go. And that's the thing. If this was something that happened with someone like Alia or Taniyama, who doesn't really have that much popularity, people don't really know them that much, they would get like people would like say like weird stuff about them and start rumors and stuff, and they would get extremely penalized, you know and this is what it means to have a good social backing. If you have a good social backing and a lot of people know about you, and they like stuff like this doesn't really matter. A few people will talk bad stuff about, say stuff about you. Most people wouldn't care, and majority is the one which will get highlighted, and by the end of it, nothing will happen. But people who do not have any social backing, oh boy, it's a disaster. If something like that happens, right? Anyways, so yeah, they were talking about this, and like when Masika's like, I'm sorry, it had to be done in this way. Alice like, don't worry, I wasn't able to contribute, so I cannot really nitpick about this. It's fine, and like you helped me out with this. Thank you. Yeah. And Mastika kind of blushes here, and Alia's like, oh, good opportunity for me to kind of tease him. And so she's like, oh, like we want to eat this, and it's like feeding him. Again, everyone in the cafe is looking at them. Not cafe, sorry, the diner. And I'm like, bro, you know what? Okay, I guess this is a little bit like I guess you could say like different. Like people, like if someone starts feeding someone like this, like like I guess people will kind of look at it. But that thing outside in the road, like come on, guys, like just standing there and gawking at someone, like really? Okay, but I guess this happens in every single anime, like I said. So it's just something that I never understood. And it's just yeah. But anyways, um, she feeds him, and like and Astika's like, bro, you're feeding me with that, and then you're going to eat it from there. Isn't this going to be the whole indirect kiss situation? Now I'm not really sure what exactly happened. If she was that confident that she just ate it after that, or there's a huge possibility she completely forgot that it's the same fork that they're using, and that's why she just ate it so nonchalantly, because literally in a few episodes ago she was getting embarrassed. So I'm assuming she probably forgot, or didn't, like like it didn't register in her head that, oh, I'm eating that with the same utensil. Yeah. Okay, so that's that. Food is done. Nice birthday party they had, and then Alia's like, I have a gift for you. So she gives him a gift. It's a mug, and Masachika's like, oh, like like is this like a pear mug or something? Alia's like, yeah, I actually bought two. Like I said, she's awfully confident today. She's on a roll today. And Masachika's like, damn, I was trying to tease her, and she put it, turned it back to me. Yeah, there you go. So that's that. Now that was the first section. Then we have the next section where we have like Masachika, Alia, them talking, having a little meeting in the student council room. And so basically what they're talking about, the president is talking about changing the summer uniform. And he brought that up, I'm assuming, to the higher ups, to the authorities, to the teachers, and they had a like a negotiation conversation. Finally he was able to win. So he's like, we're going to get a new one. And also I was saying, like like why need to change, but as they say, it's hot. in that dress. So they want like a cooler dress, and a prettier one, and a different one, maybe, like a cuter one. And then the president and Sarshina again like starts goes into their own world, while Masha is making tea. And Masha gives them tea, and Masha's like not looking at Masachika because of the whole hypnosis incident. It's a bit awkward. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so then after that, Masha's like, oh, after having the tea, she's like, I'm going to clean up. And Masachika's like, oh, I'll help you out. I'm assuming Masachika probably wanted to talk to her to kind of stop this whole awkwardness. So that's why he's like, oh, I'll help you out. And then they're like, doing their thing, washing the dishes, and Masha's like, and Masika's like, oh, I want to apologize with the whole situation, and Masha's like, oh no, don't worry about it. Like, I'm the one who started it, so it's fine. Um, and then she's like, did I do something? Masika's like, oh, it's just you took both me and Ali and kind of patted us on the head, and Masha's like, oh, just that? Okay. And then she's like, I'm relieved to hear that. But then she's like, oh, did you see, the whole situation with them taking out their dress? And Mastika's like, sorry, it was inevitable. And she's like pouting and everything. Oh boy, that was funny. And then she's like stretching his cheeks, and she's like, oh, like, why did you do that? Right. Anyways, that was that. Mm, and then after that, Masika goes back to the club, to the student council room. Yuki's just there, and she just came out randomly, from Masika's shadow, and she's like, "Oh, it's the two of us." And Masika's like, "Yeah, two of us. There's what's her name? Ayano. There's Ayano just there, standing in the shadows." Yeah. Anyways, she's like, "It's been a while. I just want to talk to you and just like do the brother sister sibling like thing, you know." And she's just going all out here. Obviously, she's probably been stressed for a while, like keeping that facade up. Yeah. Anyways, she's also like, oh, you were just hanging out with Alya, hanging out with other people, like like I didn't have enough and like any time to talk to you and all that. So she's like, oh, now is the time. She just sits down, not sits down, but lays down on the table, and she's like, she's like, come on, like like pamper me. Yeah. So yeah, and then Mastika does his own silly thing. That's that. Anyways, while all of this is happening, Grandpa calls, and like I said, I was completely under the impression this was the other Grandpa, the 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 other one, the one we saw, and that's why I was kind of confused. I was like, oh, how is he taking this so lightly? But then I saw him, and I'm like, who's this person? And then I realized, oh yeah, there's two grandpas actually. It just then it struck my head that the two grandpa and two grandmas actually exist, because mother and father. That's why. It just struck my head then. I was expecting that dude to come here, and I was so confused. I was like, wow, Mastika seems pretty chill about the whole situation. Why? And like I said, I couldn't even imagine that guy to come here in a student, like council, like in a student parent meeting. Also, I wouldn't even want someone like him to come to this meeting. Who knows what he's going to say, and what type of rude things he might say. I don't trust people like that. You're going to completely destroy my social life in school if you come. So stay the hell away. That kind of thing. Right. Anyways, so he comes in, and there's this grandpa here standing, and he's like wearing like a white suit and a hat, and he's like, "What the hell? You look like a mafia." And he's like, "Oh, wait a minute. This is still something I haven't put on." Puts on the sunglasses. He says, "I used my pension to buy it all for today." Yeah. Anyways, and then they're sitting down talking, and he's like, Kyotaro, I'm guessing that's the father's name, is too busy. And he's like, oh yeah, because he just got moved to the Japanese embassy in England. There you go. So that's why. Okay, then Alia comes out, and oh my god, the grandfather's like, oh my god, what is this? Wait a minute. What does he say? Right. And that's when Masachika was like, shoot, because yeah, an Eastern European miracle. And Masachika's like, stop it, don't. Sorry about that. This is my grandfather. Father. He's a bit too obsessed with Russian. Wow. Right. Yeah. Okay. So then we get to see the mother. The mother seems very nice. Very lovely. She's like smiling and everything. She's like, "Oh, you're the Masachika-kun that Alya talks about every single day." And Alya's like, "Come on, stop it, mom." And then the grandfather's like, "Miss, do you want to join our family? You can get married to Masachika here." Masachika's like, "Stop it." You know. Right. Anyways, then they have probably go on their own way. They had the parent teacher meeting. Right. And and then Alia's mother was kind of teasing her, and she's like, "Oh, you want to get married to him?" Right. Anyways, that was that. And then after that, after having the parent teacher meeting, when they're coming back, they meet with Masachika's mother. Yuki's there as well, obviously, and you can see Masachika makes like a face, like a scowling face, because she literally doesn't even like look at him. Just moves her, like puts her eyes away, like doesn't even look at her. Yeah, and there you go. And the grandfather's like, "Oh, hello, like how are you doing?" That's where it ended. There you go. That was today's episode. A great episode. Today's episode had quite a few, interesting sections and a lot of things we got to see, you know. And yeah, that is it. That was my reaction to episode number 10 of Roshidere. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed, comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That is it. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Roshidere. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.